Hi, my name is Barry Crampton. I've been sent this diagnostic machine to test. Now, to be fair, it's really good because I was actually just looking to buy one. In the past, I've always had a snap-on scanner, and that cost me £6,500, I think, to buy plus VAT, and then it was about £85 a month to keep the software updated. I sold my scanner a while ago because we were trying to downsize, and we then start using an auto electrician. When I first bought it, things were so commonplace, the faults were so commonplace, like airbag lights coming on, and it used to be, you know, when these ECUs, when they first started putting airbag ECUs, a customer would get in the car and there'd be a manual seat height adjuster, and if they were messing about with it, they'd pull the height adjuster lever and no weight in the car, the seat would fly up, and the next thing you know, you've got an airbag light on. Even I think Vauxhall Corsas, at the time, if they run out of petrol, the engine management light would come on. And I remember sitting at a Vauxhall dealer's for about 2 hours waiting for them to come out, plug this machine in, and I think they charged me about 85 quid because somebody had run out of petrol. So hence it then actually became cheaper for me to buy a snap-on scanner at £6.5 plus VAT and £85 a month than to keep going to different dealers to have the lights. What I should have done was switch this on while I'm talking. Sorry. There we go, that's coming on now. So yeah, it became cheaper for me to pay all that money out and a monthly subscription than to keep going to other dealers, and it was also a lot more convenient. You know, I remember a guy set off the forecourt and he stalled the car, and then somehow he tried to start it while it and engine management light came on, and again, taking somebody for a test drive cost me £85 to go to the dealers to get a light knocked out. So I bought it. Nowadays, I mean, this from Mucar, it's 399 quid. I've bought the Range Rover software. You get the EOBD, the European stuff, and the generic codes for all different models. If you get the actual program for the vehicle, then you get the proper Land Rover code, so you know what it is. Plus you get, because it's bi-directional as well, you can actually test certain things. You know, you can knock service lights off, you can knock fault codes off, warning lights, you know, engine management lights. So for the amount of money that this cost, it's $49 for me to upgrade it to the Land Rover system. And the other thing is, you know, these days customers are quite wise, and you can get something that's not as good as this, that'll just knock an engine management light off for a lot less money than it would cost you to have the fault fixed. So we're finding more and more that customers will just, you know, perhaps stop up the road when they're coming to swap a car, stop up the road, knock the engine management light out, and come and trade it in, and then lo and behold, you set off up the road a couple of days later, or a customer takes delivery of it and the engine management light comes on. So it's a load of aggravation, and we want to stop that for customers. With this, it's so easy. I mean, my old snap-on scanner was in a box yay big, and it had all different leads and all different plugs to put in. This is just that. There's no cable, it's Bluetooth. You take that out, plug it in to the diagnostic socket. Now, for ease of use here, I've plugged this extension cable in here for into the diagnostic socket. So I'll just plug that in there, and I'll try and kind of wedge it so you can see it. Let's see there. No. Perhaps not. Where can I wedge it? There. So, and you'll see now Actually, I'm trying to get it from these cameras so you can see. Now if I go to scan, you can do an auto search. You've got Land Rover there, an auto search. Again, this is so much easier than it used to be. You see there, it's connected via Bluetooth. The green light was on to say it had power, so you knew you was on the right track to start off with. It's like one of these things where they're breaking into a big safe and it's guessing the combination. It's doing the same thing but finding the VIN number. Right. So it's recognised there you go, and it's got the VIN code, the make and model, the year, engine, and that's it. So vehicle correct. And here we go, I'll just go for this top one, and it will now health report. So it's now scanning the whole system. And one of the things I'll try and show you as well, quite a good while ago, and in fact it has happened recently as well. We've had a car with a pretty minor fault, something that we can't control. The car's gone out and it's got stone through the radiator, or however the radiator sprung a leak, and the driver, even though the warning light came on, the driver kept going. I think it was a Friday night and he must have been in a rush to get home. So he's kept going and the engine seized up. They've then come back to us. New engine is a lot of money. But with this scanner, you can actually see when the engine management light came on and how many miles it's done with the engine management light on. So you know, you can be a bit of a detective these days. Also, as I say, these lights come on. Sometimes they come on for absolutely no reason whatsoever. It can just be a combination of things. For instance, recently we've had people put in the wrong petrol in with this new E10 petrol. Causes a slight misfire. Engine management light comes on. They think it's the end of the world, it's the car, and it's not. It's because they put the wrong fuel in. But here we go. So there you go. That's this car has got, it's showing faults on all those things. Now they'll have just come on over the years, and honestly, it's every single car. They come on, there's no engine management light on, but it's just at some stage recorded a fault. So here we go. You see all them. If I go into, say, that one, look, it tells you version information, read fault code, so read that. Control module configuration, incompatible historic. So there you go, all the faults. And if I clear all these faults, it's going through the system, clearing all the faults. And that's actually good for us, because when we sell a car, if anything does go wrong, all those faults are already recorded. That meant nothing. However, what it means to say is, with the trading standards laws these days, if anything goes wrong within the first 30 days, a customer can theoretically ask for his money back, refunded, no questions asked. And certainly if you don't cure the fault within a couple of visits, then again he can ask for his money back. Now the first visit, if you've got those fault codes already on that built up over years, you kind of flying blind. So before the cars go out, if we clear the fault codes, at least if something comes on when the new customer's got it, we've got half a chance and we can narrow it down to see what it is. So again, this for £399 is worth its weight in gold to us, just in you know, not messing about, not faffing about. Let's just see. And the other day we were trying to find a fault on a rear wash wipe. With this being bi-directional, you can go into some systems and send the window up and down. It's steaming up in here. We send the window up and down. You can control all sorts of modules with it. So I hope I'm making myself clear, because these cameras, you've got about 20 minutes before they overheat, so I'm trying to cram as much in as possible. So that's that bit done. So we'll just go back there. We'll click out. Operator message. Are you sure you want to exit? Yes. It does give you an audible beep when you come out. Here you go. Would you like to end your diagnostic session? Yes. That's just reminding you to take this Bluetooth thing out, because you've not got a cable, it's easy to forget. So we've done that. Now then, we'll go back again. We'll go out of here. You've got Obd Maintenance and Service. And there you go, you've got all these things. One of the other things, we had the wheels refurbed. They took the tyres off, refurbed the wheels, put the tyres back on, and of course that set off like there was trouble codes for all 4 wheels. Again, that had to be cleared. Add blue air fuel bleed AFS, and so certain vehicles, when you're putting pads in, you've now, with the electric handbrake, you have to wind the calipers out. You can't just repair your or replace your pads. So again, you need one of these. One of these things can pay for itself in no time whatsoever. And I mean, unscrupulous dealers, even if you buy them off dealers, we had a customer the other week, and he'd bought a Land Rover off another dealer, and he had a fault, and he rang us. And I said to him, well, why don't you take it back to the guy you bought it off? And he says, well, I did, but he told me to sling me hook, for want of a better expression. Into the Land Rover, as I say, $49, not even £49, so well worth it. Automatically search, operator message, okay. Okay, yes. Instruments, system selection, special function, vehicle information. We've done the health report. Here we go. Voice control, advanced speech recognition, automatic relocking, Bluetooth hands-free for auto streaming. So here, you know, just for, say, for a little car dealer, there you go, manually reset service, Range Rover Sport, 2014, the VIN's been read from, turn on the ignition, open the hood, open the, and again, I haven't got time to do that, and I don't need to reset this because it's already been done. There we go. Now this is the interesting bit. Mill status off. Okay. Read live data, read fault code, clear fault code, test results, control operation of onboard, read vehicle information. Instrument calibration function. Now I won't go into that because I think you can actually, there may be a way of changing the mileage, which obviously we don't do stuff like that. So if you go into the store there, look, those are all the models you can buy the extra for. And go into Windows, body systems, door window calibration, roof blind calibration, body sensors, sunroof calibration, all these stuff that you would normally, and there you go. Set the ignition switch to position 2. I'm not going to do this because it's pouring down anyway. The following procedure will drive the roof opening panel through a calibration run. Beware that the roof opening panel will move during the roof time. So I don't want to do that because I've got 2 GoPros fastened to it to start off with. But it's, I'm blown away by the amount of functions on this system, it's just brilliant.